All right. DE Market by Boxcat feedback. We playtested this map yesterday. I sadly couldn't record, but there will be other players' POV recordings will be coming soon. So I will link those down into the description. But this is a 5v5 defusal map once again. What's fresh about this map is that much of the map is laid out like a kind of like a real place. So you don't see that many high walls. You see like these fences getting out quite a lot of the exterior areas. So it feels like a Counter-Strike source map most of the time. If you know what I mean, like trying to make a realistic kind of a place first and then setting the gameplay around it. There are a couple faults to the level, which or design aspects that I think that are hindering the level from playing better than it did, and it did play well, but it's just that it with those little things ironed out, I believe that it could perform quite a lot better. And there's a little bit of jank in the level, but anyway, we'll get to that. There are quite a lot of spots like this. First of all, I'm going to start my feedback with like the visual clarity and the fairness in the gameplay when it comes to you exposing yourself to a position where a player can see you but you cannot see them. So this map is kind of plagued playing on the or adding on to the topic of low walls. You can see, for example, if I'm on the other side of this wall, I can see pretty much like anyone passing through this little gap if I'm accurate enough. I bet you can get like a scout here. Yeah, you can see people passing through there. There are spots like this in the level. You can see all the way back to CT. These can be used to great information play. There's no way that you're gonna see a player there. Let's just face it. Look at this, I found this on the market for like 25 cents or something. Yeah, there are also, speaking of broken sightlines or sightlines that don't really feel fair, we had a player who found this sideline and told everybody after the game, obviously. You don't want to be spoiling your key to success. This sideline, apart from, like, there's only this wall separating that from being, like, from the furthest point through to the furthest point. Yeah, we didn't know that existed, so we were, like, just happily dilly-dallying around here and then exposing ourselves and giving away, like, huge amounts of information just because the player was, like, able to be abusing this. So that was kind of crazy. This could work, but it's a cool sightline, and I certainly think that the sightline should be like limited to this area. So this map really has what I probably should have prefaced earlier. This map has like this middle, which is like the classical mid, and then it has this lower tunnel middle, which connects with the A bomb site, or is this B? This is supposed to be B, but it's, yeah, anyway, the radar. Yeah, it connects B bomb site and then A bomb site exterior parts. The way to play this map, in my opinion right now, is to always have a CT on the other side of this tunnel. One CT here, maybe the other like B player play this. One mid, one watching this entrance, one watching here, and just one dude playing on the B bomb side. That's kind of the way to do it, and the fact or how the map played when it comes to like this sideline is that the timings work in a way that T's kind of get here, and the CTs cannot push this really. So this is kind of a no man's land, and I really like that it is. But I would feel kind of better playing this map if this was more CT sided. So CTs kind of have to get this to be able to defend the middle thing. Then the second thing, this upper mid also needs to be a little bit more CT-sided. So right now you have spots like this, or rather I should actually touch upon like the fact that there's like a figure 8 here with like this negative space, this planter hedge thing, and then this box, which make it so as a player, as a CT player with an AWP, for example here, you cannot, first of all, you cannot really make it here in time. The best that you're gonna make from CT spawn, the timing is like that. You're gonna peek around here, and then the T's could be peeking from here, 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 and they can be like everywhere. There's 4 angles that you have to be worrying about, and it's just not gonna happen as a solo CT player. The contrasting thing of how this is kind of balanced is that this CT entrance is so wide that you have to expose yourself to that lower headshot angle, this upper balcony thing here, back of A bomb site, and to these sorts of angles. So this is fucking crazy to play around, and these are wall bangable, but it's, you know, this is just not good for gameplay. You can see the player heads like, you know, in the distance, and there's no way that you're gonna be seen from back here. Just imagine a CT player back there. You're not gonna be peeking that. If this was like more ironed out or made more obvious in the way that this is actual gameplay, or like playable area and intended to be a peeking angle, then I would like congratulate this from map making standpoint. But right now, I feel like it's kind of an accident to be left this open, and it's actually taking away from the gameplay experience. I don't think anyone actually like found this out as a CT holding mid, because this would have been like a terrible thing to actually come to terms with peeking. Then we have T-side peeking options. There's this barrel that you can boost over to gain peaks like this, which is, I really like this. I think this is super cool. And there's like I think like the biggest structural mistake here is have this be so open and this be so open as well. So I think that there should be like some sort of a beautiful balance. Maybe like open this up so that this is the entrance to mid, so that you can actually rotate between like this sort of axis here, and then you could actually move this much of the middle away, like this whole thing. Just make it an A route going through like here, straight here, and have better A timings through that. The thing with this map is like it's detailed into like it's quite far in its development. It's still like every building is a little bit halfway there with the detailing. The colors and textures are not really set. The ceilings or the roofs are not there. There's no optimization in the level, but the general aesthetic of things is really strong in this level. So yeah, it's kind of hard at this point to make massive gameplay changes without like having to scrap like complete buildings like here. Yeah, I think that's about the rest of the mid. Actually, I want to touch a little bit upon the mid more. So I never felt really safe pushing this as a CT or T. So like this area of mid just stayed as kind of a deathmatch no man's land, which is a cool dynamic. But then you have to control this somehow as a CT, and it just feels this, or it leaves this like feeling of uncertainty to a big great rotation like option for the CTs. You should be able to hold any position as a CT, even alone to some extent in Counter-Strike. Obviously, you're not gonna have like 5 CTs against 5 Ts anytime, but you're going to have the possibility of 5 Ts against 1 CT usually. But that's where communication and utility comes in. So you're gonna have those like 1v1 situations as a CT against T. But here, the deathmatchiness of this area just like means that you're going to have probably like two Ts, three T's against one CT, like playing somewhere here, and then they can't really fall back from anywhere. But yeah, the design of this area, I think it's just kind of like an afterthought, to be honest. If anything, if CT or T's are not holding mid, CTs can push like very far back here. The only reason, only like bad thing about this is the volume or like the noise thing. You can, as a player here, you can hear players running in this area. So yeah, that's the biggest issue with that. But yeah, you can flank A very quickly from there. So that is a cool dynamic, but I think it could be like built upon a little bit more with like structuring mid more. And taking away some space and or like playable space and introducing negative space, I think. This is a danger zone asset. It's kind of cool. Okay, some visual feedback. I think you could make structures like this. Like you have the pink building, which it's good. Like this whole chunk is just one building, and that's exactly what you want to do. In like Counter-Strike and level design in general, just like make one structure take as much space. It's also cost effective in the time that you spend detailing. You have one structure to take like a major part of the map over, so you don't have to like spend time detailing like 7 different buildings instead of like 3, you know. I think also this is kind of cool. You could make this into a lighthouse or something. That could be kind of cool, and then have this rounded thing here be, you know, the rounded side of a lighthouse. So that could be really cool. This market area, for example, like here, this is really awesome that this is just like one building, one structure. I think it could be a little bit higher, but for the aesthetic, it's perfect. Some windows could be cool here, and I already gave feedback from like this area here being like kind of useless. So closing this up here, I think would be the right way to go. Closing this up and then having only like this donut. Well, you can't see that from here, but like this is a donut basically, this entrance. So that could be cool for or better for the gameplay. Anyway, I iterated it in the feedback already, so it's super cool that you have like built-in structures. That the whole dock area is really fleshed out. I appreciate that from just like world building side of things. And the fact that you can see the water from everywhere, I think that's such a cool thing. Yeah, spots like this that you can fall through here, I think you could clip it so, or like just make it so that you cannot really fall through here or something. I don't know. Maybe like thematically it's better to have it open and so that you can fall through here. But I guess just for the security of players, you could clip it away. Like this is clipped away. You can't jump there, can you? Yeah, you can't, but you can still fall. This blue building could take the whole like overhead part here. You could feel this. Why is it stuttering like that? You see that? Brr, brr. Anyway, like this blue building could overtake like this whole space that these two buildings are taking over, or this blue building could be extended towards here, just to optimize the level better. I think this also, the blue building is so tall that you can't really successfully throw nades over. So making it higher and taking more space, that could be the right thing to do in the terms of detailing, and it's gonna help you later on that you can close the skybox from on top of the building to optimize the map better. Obviously, in Source 2, we're not gonna have the issue of nades not being able to be thrown through skybox texture. It's such a cool thing that they made, and makes me wonder why that wasn't the thing previously. Here again, you have like big building here, which is good. You could like overextend this, stretch it a little bit so that the high wall would be like here, or like even here, and just have like just a tiny sliver of detailing, like the courtyard here, or like the little backyard. Here again, yeah, I think it's better for you to close the fence up. Try to do something with the maybe the church fence, like here. Iterate that somehow, like here. Yeah, And then structurally, I don't think that this should be a thing, like this connector here. Or it shouldn't be this large, if anything. When I'm pushing as a T, from T spawn, there has to be some sort of a choice if I'm pushing here through this mid arch or route path, or if I'm pushing from back here. I don't think that these areas should be disconnected, that you can literally rotate from like the B long area back to second mid, back to T spawn, back to middle, back to A bomb site. I think there should be a little bit more commitment, and after you get like you gain this rotation path, you can then rotate back to A bomb side. Also, I'm taking in consideration actually making this route be the thing, so that you can actually have like meaningful rotations back through mid. But yeah, that's where middle control comes to play. Yeah, like visually, I have to say that, you know, obviously the map is early in its development, but closing up buildings, making larger structures, making larger buildings, take up more space. It's gonna help you in the long run. You're gonna realize that you have less to detail, and you have like larger and more distinct buildings that you can be like you can recognize from everywhere in the map. Also, like this map doesn't have that many tall buildings, so for the first 2 games, players can get kind of lost. Like from here, you can see the red building or the blue building. You're like, oh, okay, the red and blue buildings are around A bomb site or B bomb site, and the church is on A. But like apart from that, everything kind of looks the same. Sun is coming from the wrong direction. I know that you're using the nuke blank skybox, but yeah, you have to configure the light settings from the env light or light environment to be the same angles as the sun. Sun should be there. A couple visual gripes I already gave feedback on is this thing here. If you're crouching here as a CT, you're kind of hard to spot. Also, I don't really know what kind of a, like, this is obviously a fish market or something around the ocean. It's cool, but the theming I'm not really that sure about. Like I don't know where this is set in the real world. It could be set in like the Caribbean or in like this could be like a set in like Norway or something. That could be kind of a cool. Actually, take that route. Go with like more wooden buildings. Well, everything is kind of wooden, but like, well, this is not. But anyway, you get what I mean. Like mountains in the back, and you know, that could be kind of cool. Also, when it comes to gameplay on B-bomb side, I don't think that there are that many good holding positions for CTs. And the bomb site is very empty, and the flow of everything is just like, you get choked from here, and you can't really push past that once the T's have the bomb site. And retaking B-bomb side, you really have to like come outside where the T's have come from. These scaffolding things don't help with the gameplay and the visibility. They are kind of in the way. These sorts of boxes can't be really used for cover, and they're kind of like annoying at the end of the day. Yeah, and just the sightline issue here like it means that the T's pushing here and rotating here are really exposed to like a certain sightline here, and that's not really good to play around. It doesn't feel good that you like exposed to a position all the time. Once you're like trying to take the bomb site, I don't think that this sightline necessarily should be here. It is cool, but it's just that what it means for the gameplay is that as a T, you're trying to take the bomb site, and you're gonna be shot from 3 different directions here. But yeah, like if it was here, and you're just going to like get past it to get to the entrance of the bomb site, That could be kind of cool, but right now I don't really get it. Also, is this map compiled in HDR? So I don't feel like it is. It feels very cold for the lighting being like kind of warm. The lighting is good. It's good lighting, but I think the shadows are a little bit too blue. I think like they are very blue and contrast really well with that the sky, but then the sky is not that like that beautiful. It's just empty sky. And I think the lighting is a little bit too cyan for what it is. But yeah, I guess that's for detailing for later on. But yeah, it looks like a map from 2015 or 14 or something. It's a blast from the past map with a quirky layout and kind of carefree when it comes to rotations. And we actually had like this map has good rotations, even though it's like very large. But it's all because of this tunnel underground, and because of that, it's already like really fun to play from the get-go. And it's even though it's a hard map, it's map that gives you engaging situations where you have to like think where the rest of the CT players are if you're like T, and as a CT you really have to control certain aspects to make it easier to figure out where the T's are. So it's good from that side. And also like when it comes to the bomb site takes, CTs pushing into the B bomb site retaking, there are already like a couple spots that the defending T's like to play from. Like here, that was a very popular spot from back there. In here on the double cubby, macaroni pocket. This was fun to play, fun to defend from. But yeah, for example, like here you have to segment it a little bit. This is a terrible 50-50. You're exposed to everything else while you're trying to like peek that. So yeah, maybe like segment it a little bit, like add a box here that you can peek this safely from behind, and then from here you can like peek the rest of the bomb site. Yeah, and when it comes to A, you just kind of have to reconfigure everything here, make more gameplay. Like maybe even have like swap this L shape be here, so that this choke point or like this entrance is choked up a little bit. Make larger box here and here. Make something that you can actually use as body cover against these sorts of like strong terrorist pushing angles, and then from there we'll talk later, you know. Also I gave you about in the feedback video of the playtest, I gave you feedback about this sort of an angle. You can see feet there, and that's really unfair, I feel like. Yeah, I think that's about it. If anything comes to mind, I will like DM you or something. But yeah, that's been DE Market by Boxcat. Playtest video I will link down below. I did not record it, but Swift Vines, thank you, recorded a playtest of this, which I'm really grateful for. And it had cool moments. It had it's a fun video, so go check that out as well. All right, take care, and I'll see you guys sometime. All right, take care.